Welcome to my channel. This is a reading for Capricorn for March 2020, career and finance. And apologies, Capricorn, I had intended to do this reading for February, but somehow you got lost in my shuffle. So just wanted to, I'll do a short reading for February for the last week or so coming up, but for the time being, I'll just move this ahead to March for career and finance for Capricorn 2020. So I'll just give you a quick layout of my cards. The very back cards are the general readings for the overall month of March. This again is just the general readings, not specific to career and finance. And then I do have the remaining cards are the actual reading for career and finance. Everything that is below here is just the clarifier cards. Everything above that would be the reading itself. So I'll start with the back cards because I tend to forget those. So Queen of Raphael is where we start. This is actually a card that speaks to letting you know that your heart is your greatest strength. So I feel that just in quick review of those cards at the back here, that this is really talking to your being divinely led for sure. There's a lot coming through which may not have been something that you've relied upon in previous months, but for sure you have a lot of strong psychic ability for the month of March, and definitely a lot of emotional overlay and intensity that's following as well. Given a lot of the cards that I see here, especially toward the back, they do suggest that, again, heart is with the Queen of Raphael, which is the first card here. It does indicate that you need to follow your heart. There's a love of home and family and a trustworthy psychic, and that you're receiving trustworthy psychic information. So again, that card is specific to your heart being your greatest strength, and that existing relationships with others you'll reach new, deeper levels with not only the psychic realm, but also, and again, trusting your ability, because it's extremely intensified for the month of March, and possibly that's because you are opening up your heart to some kind of remote emotional relationship of some sort. But definitely that is coming through strongly. So again, you can expect relationships with others to develop to a new level. Psychic level is very heightened. You're also in a perfect position to help another with this card, the Queen of Raphael. So I don't know if you're reaching out to help somebody that you have a new relationship with, or if this is a younger person that you're trying to help as well. Because with the Page of Raphael here at the end, pages are usually indicative of a younger person as well. But either way, again, back to the Queen of Raphael with the first card here. That is telling you that you've got a love of family and home and all of those things. In regards to a person, we are speaking to somebody who's kind and wise and loving and has the ability to solve problems before they actually occur. So you have a good sense of something, problems. You can anticipate problems before they actually arise. But again, with that spiritual understanding and that giving nature, you can definitely overdo and find that you are giving too much. But what I mean by that is that unconditional love can also lead to a bit of an imbalance in terms of self-care. So just to be aware of that. I don't see anything strikingly out of balance there, but just a note, just to take mind of looking after yourself. It could also be somebody who's in a career of psychology or something that relates to giving and understanding and all of those healing type qualities. Okay, so moving on to the Magician. The Magician says that you can, I'll just try to bring that closer, you can manifest the life that you want, and what you need will be magically supported. You have successful beginnings. So just in quick review of the bottom cards here as well, I do see a beginning of something as well there too. So that the Magician does tie into the rest of the reading. But again, the back cards are just suggesting general readings for the month of March. So the Magician in itself is somebody who has that magical touch. You do have the divine on your side. So again, strong inspiration coming through and guidance from the divine. But any new projects are successful at this time with the Magician card. So it's letting you know that you are underestimating your abilities, and that you do have the skills and the knowledge. You have accumulated enough. You are prepared for this moment. So you do have the support of people around you. You do have the resources. You just need to take the initiative, take focused action, and be confident and get out there, because there's that windfall of abundance and support that's not always there when we take that first step on a new project. But you do have to have, you do have to move forward on those plans to make things, come to fruition. Otherwise, it just sits in your head and goes nowhere, and then it comes through in another month, when things are still, percolating, but you still haven't moved on it. So be sure to take action, because this is a really strong month for it, especially when you have so much support and you do have the divine guiding you through. So Page of Raphael is again speaking to a younger energy. So I do feel that this is a younger person that's coming through in your life that you're guiding. Again, don't know if it speaks to a relationship, and this is somebody who just has a really youthful quality about them. But either way, this person, I do feel, is, given the Page of Raphael, a new emotional situation, messages regarding relationships or social invitations, great intuitive insights. Again, the whole thing really is suggesting that, you do have a lot of support here. So definitely take action. But also with the newness of this relationship, which again is probably opening up your heart and your divine connection as well. I do feel, because it's also indicating that you have great emotional impact going on here. So there is some really strong message of emotional intensity here. Again, it could be romantic life or something to do with your emotional life. But communication is really important to this person here. So this page requires communication. Make sure there's an open exchange at all times. And just because it does create a level of safety, and certainly, when people are upfront. But also, again, psychic, it does strongly suggest that your psychic gifts are rising to new levels. So again, you have a new friend, and if this new friend is a younger person or just somebody with the qualities of youth, this is somebody who's very shy and youthful and gentle and warm and loving, kind of a dreamy, creative type, somebody who could be very naive, that kind of thing. And there could also be some kind of invitation on the horizon with all of this as well, just because it's been mentioned a couple of times. So it seems like there's some kind of social situation of sorts coming up as well. But to start off with, again, this is Capricorn, and this is for March 2020. Those were the overall general readings for the cards at the back. Those that follow are the career readings. So it starts off with you in the well, not specific to you as a person. This would actually just be relating to the energy of the Knight of Swords. So Swords relates to the minds. It's a message that's coming through very quickly. You do have some, with the clarifier cards here, you do have some self-sabotage going on. So this is your current position. With the Knight of Swords, this is really somebody who has ambition and drive and determination. It could speak to yourself. It could speak to somebody who's around you. This person could be really fast talking. It could also speak to a lot of positive, negative energies, vacillating between the two. But, it's just somebody that is, very responsible, stands up for themselves and their beliefs, and could be a really strong networking type of person as well. As I said, very influential. But basically, this is somebody that's bringing in swift change, or again, it's just the energy of swift change coming through. It is a card that's telling you to go after your dreams as well. For sure it does speak to, if we were talking about a specific career, it could suggest something that relates to, faster moving type profession, ambulance driver, emergency response, somebody who works in the hospital that deals in the ER, a helicopter pilot, like something that's just really, fast car driver or something along that line. But again, it's something that moves really swiftly. So it is an indication of abrupt change, is the position where you're at. Somebody who's also, but again, if we're talking about a person, it's a self-assured person, somebody who's quite intelligent, powerful intellect, cuts off from feeling, high risk taker. But again, if we're just talking about it as an energy, it's about quick decisions, good news that's coming in. Definitely some kind of opportunity, that's something that's dealing with change, that's about to abruptly move things ahead. But again, you do have a lot of stress around it because it's you self-sabotaging. You're not thinking clearly. This isn't a card of, blockages in your way other than yourself. I mean, you can remove everything is loosely bound. You're not tightly restrained there. It is somebody who is just, you could remove that blindfold at any time. It's again self-imposed, so there's nothing for you to fear there. The next card, again, it's just a clarifier with the Six of Pentacles, but this is the give and take type energy with that card there. I mean, it could speak to a reconciliation of some sort, but again, I mean, it is a career and finance reading, so we'll see where the card goes, but again, that's just sort of an underlying tone of reconciliation. It does indicate that there could be some kind of you helping someone else or someone else helping you, which could go in hand again with Page of Raphael, because it does speak to, a sharing of, or charitable feeling, of the fast news coming through, is that there's some kind of charitable situation going on there, or at least that's the clarifier for it. So that giving and taking on more responsibility, taking things to a new level, maybe there is some kind of situation where somebody's moving in, or you're intending to help them out on some level. But either way, moving on to the next card, which is Temperance. So Temperance is about that balance. It's about the divine coming through to assist you, and it's trying to synchronize things to get things moving in the direction, for the rest of the month, or to move things ahead for the future. So it does speak to, self-control, and especially because the clarifier is the Justice card, I would say that's a good, a strong indicator that there's harmony and cooperation going on here. There is a need for you to be patient, that there is something that's coming through that the universe needs to line up before it's actually available to you. But that would be, again, followed by the Two of Cups. So, where you've got justice and things trying to be balanced out in a fair way with Temperance. The Justice card, again, is the clarifier, and that one speaks to you being guided by your intuition. I mean, it can have something to do with, lawsuits or legal matters, something of that nature as well. But that you would be, loans are being paid and problems are being looked after, but just to be patient because things are having to be worked through there. But there is the Two of Cups, which is about that balance being found. So, I mean, after a period of introspection and, again, more guidance from the universe is what the Hermit suggests. But with the Two of Cups, that balance is found. Twos and fours speak to that balance. Again, it can also speak to a reconciliation of some sort. So maybe there is that person with the Page of Raphael and the sharing of, reciprocation. But again, another reconciliation card there too. So, I mean, really strong suggestion that there is somebody that has come back here. And again, with the Two of Swords following that, again, kind of feels like there's some kind of a decision, some kind of balance, and again, something that is a deeper connection right there. So it could be a friendship of some sort that has been reignited and strengthened, new or old, but it does speak to even business deals as well. Some kind of employment contract, that kind of thing that's coming through, and that there was a legal some kind of contract with the Justice card, but again, that's not the main card. It is more of a clarifier, but it could speak to that as well. But it's balance, fairness, cooperation, reconciliation, and harmony. So again, new partnership of some sort. So don't know if you're going into business with this person or what the situation is there, but there's definitely another person involved in this reading here. And again, the Hermit is just about pulling back, doing a little bit of soul searching, being divinely led, and so you can trust in that because your psychic abilities are extremely heightened during this time. So anything that you have a query, concern about, is really just step back, follow your intuition. There's nothing that you're going to be headlong, there's nothing that's going to be headlining to thwart you in some way. That's what I'm trying to say. But again, that is a card of solitude and being patient. So again, the Two Swords is some sort of decision that's up ahead, but it is still you finding balance, that kind of thing. You could have some blocked feelings, with that card as well, or just an indecision, or just a bit of a stalemate. Again, nothing really severe here. I don't see a lot of blockage cards or anything like that. Just a lot of introspection, so you're in your head a lot for the month of March. But again, it's just, it's about compromise with this kind of a card here too. And it seems like it's more of a card to move you to action just because of the other surrounding cards. Also with the Seven of Pentacles, Pentacles indicate things that deal with the material world, but the Seven is you stepping back and trying to plan something. So you're not taking action just yet. You are in a time of creating some kind of new strategy before you move ahead. Again, not sure if this relates to a business partnership or some kind of relationship overtone of sorts that relates to your money or that will impact your money. But it is about you taking a break from hard work, just pulling back, before you go ahead and make a decision. And because it is surrounded by so many, cards of changing perspective and solitude, and stagnation and trying to make a decision, I do feel you need that period of reflection, in the beginning period of March there. So again, you're told to persevere because you will have some rewards that come your way, but you're still in that planning strategy stage in the beginning of March. So, and again, there is somebody who is related to, so there's some other person that's coming through in this reading that's quite significant to the outcome. So, or will have a strong impact in March anyway. Okay, so moving on to the next card. Again, it's just, you moving away from some kind of a crossroads. You're changing your perspective. You're trying to, look ahead and move forward. But again, still up in your head because the next card is the Four of Pentacles. And that, again, is somebody who's, hanging on tightly and, very controlled about their decisions and not necessarily willing to part with money, or maybe, as they say, it could be just an over-controlling mindset. So, I mean, maybe on a broader level it's relating to that. But again, when we're talking about the Hanged Man, this is you, as I said, changing your perspective. So maybe you're starting to loosen up your mindset and not be as, you're relinquishing some of the control here, because you are moving in a different direction. You're letting go of baggage. So it might have been an old relationship of some sort that came through that you needed to have, because again, this is all crossroads, you at a crossroads and having to go inwards. So there was some kind of suffering that went on there, and you had to accept some kind of a loss for the greater good. But anyway, again, it can be a card of holding yourself back, but I mean, I don't see anything that's permanent here for the month of March. There's not a lot of, they're all really positive cards following. So the Four of Pentacles is, again, I mean, it could suggest a little manipulation going on here, though, with the two cards, because they are coupled so closely together. But with the Four of Pentacles, it's just you hanging on really tightly. You're stubborn. There's some kind of a little bit of stagnancy, again, in that beginning period of March, and that there's some boundaries going on here. Just a little bit of being a little closed off. Could be past issues that you're holding on to. As I said, control freak, somebody who's a little bit possessive. But in terms of, finances, I mean, the card can be quite positive in terms of finances because it speaks to stability, and certainly twos and fours are all about stability. So, I mean, I don't see any changes there. There's no sudden alterations with your money at all. Everything seems pretty consistent. It's just about you or someone else helping. There's some kind of exchange there. But I do feel it is all surrounding this fiery energy here as well. Don't know if this is you. Don't know if this is someone else around you that's influencing the reading as well. But the Queen of Wands is somebody who is very entrepreneurial. So this is somebody who is quite, strong. She's an authority type. She is somebody who has a lot of business acumen. She's optimistic, she's easygoing, she's friendly. This is somebody who is quite self-assured and, could have very strong sex appeal, could represent, as I say, these are just energies, but it could represent somebody who's a Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius, but it's a really mature energy coming through here. So it's not somebody who's flighty and indecisive. It's really somebody who knows what they want. and they do have a lot of energy. But it's definitely a career-oriented person, so it could be even somebody who's quite professional. But I do feel there's a lot of optimism coming through here with the Fool card. So again, that could be the relationship that's involved here, somebody who's quite young with somebody who's maybe a little bit older, or it's an older relationship that is coming through, or this is a person around you that is influencing things or giving you advice. But overall, the Fool speaks to somebody who's quite optimistic and who's kind of taking that leap ahead and is victorious for doing so. So this is somebody who is, you know, as I say, a little more starting at the beginning again. So whatever this journey was, there might have been some previous beginning, or it's a brand new beginning, but it is definitely speaking to some kind of beginning starting up. There's a door opening. So moving on to the next card, and again, that was just the clarifier with the Six of Wands, and the Six of Wands just spoke to, you know, energy and victory. So whatever the situation was, you're victorious in. So again, all really positive cards, and somebody who's quite talented as well, and you know, gets some recognition for something that is, you know, maybe early on with a new beginning like this. And moving on to that, there is also some kind of old soul that's coming through here as well. Healing energy with the High Priestess. It's considered, this is considered the highest regarded card in the deck. So it does speak to, you know, old soul knowledge, somebody who has a lot of wisdom, you know, somebody who could be even perfectionistic. It could be something about, it does bring in the balance of wisdom and knowledge. So, you know, you're looking for, with this card, you're looking for some kind of hidden talent or something within yourself, like a latent talent that maybe you hadn't thought to bring forward to the world. And certainly, you know, it's followed, it's clarified by the World card, so it is being seen. But it's a lot of mysterious influences, and highly intuitive card with this one as well. So you're getting some kind of divine gift that's coming through, and that you can trust your instincts. And again, it's one of mystery and reflection, and somebody who's really analytical. You know, could be in the healing arts as well. But definitely clarified by the World card, and that definitely is something that's quite a happy card. It is something that speaks to the universe, again, fully involved in this reading. It's all over the place, you know. It's so you really need to go inward to find your answers with this. So the World card again is about reward for the hard work. It's accomplishment, it's completion, it's the universe coming through with help. Again, there's some kind of triumph there. So don't know if there was some kind of, you know, business partnership or something that was being considered, but I mean, I do feel a strong relationship oriented feel with this reading, but somehow this person is influencing your money situation. It's very closely tied in. So again, with the Judgment card following that, you know, with these two cards kind of following each other as well, could be even a soul's calling. So something that you were, you know, meant to do that is coming through as well. So again, with the Judgment card, and it is clarified by a 4, which is, you know, speaking to finding balance. But with the Judgment card, it is about, you know, having that inner calling, that transformation. Again, this is toward the end of March. Choices or decisions, you know, you feel liberated somehow. You're able to move forward again. You might be feeling, though, that, I mean, this could even speak to, you know, a career of some sort that relates to video creation as well, something along that line. But again, it's just about moving on, taking action, moving on things that are related to your true self. You do have some reserve over it because the sorry if you can't see that, 4 of Swords is about you still being up in your head and stressed about it, but you're stepping back to try to figure out, you know, I guess what your next move will be on this, really. But I mean, there's nothing really to worry about. You've got the 9 of Cups, so that's emotional fulfillment all around. So it feels like you're really emotionally driven for the month of March. But again, the 4 of Swords is about taking that time to be alone, and communication is really important. You're just relaxing, you're slowing things down. You might feel a little bit of, you know, fear, self-doubt, like you're feeling stuck on some level, but really you're not. You're making some kind of decision here, even though there's lots of introspection. But you do arrive at the Nine of Cups as a clarifier for this soul's calling, something that's really touching you on a really deep level. But again, Nine of Cups is emotion. Cups is emotion. So following that, you do have even more cups. So again, with the Nine of Cups, that's about wish fulfillment. So something that, that was really important to you that you achieve is coming true here, but you have either a lot of anxiety over it because of the Seven of Cups, or there's a lot of decisions yet to be made. So the Seven of Cups speaks to a lot of things still up ahead. Again, too many choices, can be feeling disorganized, could be a lot of fantasies or temptations, strong feelings, things that are, and again, that card also speaks to reconciliation. So I'm getting the feeling this is really involving somebody coming in. And again, with the King of Cups, this card again, this is about an energy, could be you, could be somebody around you, but somebody that could be, providing advice or whatever, somebody who's supportive leader. This is a trustworthy person. This is somebody who has emotional maturity, who's a good guide, who's very compassionate, and somebody who's very diplomatic. So a very calm person, controlled emotion, somebody you can rely on and has a lot of wisdom. So this is a stable person who's very charitable as well. So again, I mean, it speaks to a few different people here. And again, not really sure. I feel that the first energy that we felt wasn't necessarily someone as an energy, or sorry, as a person, but more of an energy coming through, a fast message, because knights usually indicate a direction. And this one's really was your present position anyway. And they're coming through with news. So again, you about self-sabotaging, but there's some kind of charitable situation going on here. Either somebody's coming in and you're helping them, or they're helping you. But I did feel this was definitely emotionally laden with some kind of a relationship that's extremely intense. And definitely a younger person that's coming through here as well, or has that energy. And some kind of over-controlling situation here, a lot of stagnation in the beginning months. But again, there's a fiery energy of somebody who's very independent and resourceful and, comfortable in her power, has quite a bit of authority, but there's optimism coming through, and there's success. There's a lot of wisdom and a lot of divine inner calling here, that you're on the right path. And again, even with this being on the right path with the Temperance and the Justice card, that speaks to that as well. So, but just to be patient, because things are starting to manifest, and you will get your wish fulfillment here with the Nine of Cups. Might be a lot of anxiety over it or indecision, as I said, but there is somebody who is in your corner, either you yourself, or someone else that's coming through to provide some guidance. But either way, things are still fairly stable in terms of money. You're just all up in your head trying to plan and project ahead with something. So you're not really making any solid decisions yet, but you are on the path to do so. But again, focus on that relationship for the month of March, and I will try to do a mini read for you for the tail end of February, Capricorn. So sorry for the delay on that and the oversight. Have a great March.